Yes, hello. Welcome to the Manchester United agenda, where we can't decide who is hosting tonight. um, right. It's the Euros show tonight. I fully expect that we're going to end up talking about Ten Hag at some point.
We're going to do that first.
Yeah, I was going to say like a Monday.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way first.
You're a country and western singer, essentially. All you ever do is say, stand by your man. It looks like the club are standing by their man tonight. What are you pleased, or are you just tired of the Ten Hag stuff? Like, what's going on?
I'm very pleased they made the right decision. This is what we need. We need someone, excuse me, we need to be level-headed with all this. Decisions be made early. We can get on with it now.
Early?
Yeah. It's early for us, considering where we've been in the last few years. Early decisions being made. He's the best man for the job. There was never any threat, in my opinion, from other people coming in. We heard credible newspapers talking about, oh, he's going to be out of a job. He's not going to be in the job. He's going to get sacked and all that. And that turned out to be BS. It just shows you that with all the leaks, all the information coming out of the club, which used to be apparent, it's not so apparent anymore. I like the way we're operating, doing things in like ninjas, stealth mode, behind the scenes. You know, no one was had any knowledge about what the actual decision would be. It's only the bookies a few days before the decision was made. They had him staying as a favourite. So I thought, okay, that's interesting because no one knows. No one knew. But I think it's the best decision for the club. Let's get behind the manager now. Whatever you heard, whatever you felt about him last season, whatever disappointments, whatever the 15 defeats, the minus goal difference, whatever you want to say, you know, put that behind you now. Ten Hag's our man going forward. We've got a great team behind him as well, backing him up. You know, like Survivor Series in WWE. You come out, you got 4 guys with you. You know, you pick your best team. This is how we are now. He's the leader of the Survivor Series team going into the season, and he's got backup. He's got Wilcock there. He's got the other guy, sporting director there. They've got him. And they're a team. They have teamwork. They get together. They have a strategy. It's like the old.
How do you know this on Monday?
Because of the things that have come out from Jim Ratcliffe. Call him Tim Ratcliffe. Jim Ratcliffe. All the information that's come out, all the things that we've seen so far, everything he's said seems to be coming to fruition. They're making decisions, key decisions about the future, bringing in the best in class, as they say, in each position. We're slowly getting people in. We've got an old Bath Times mate from Peterborough coming through as well. Dan Ashworth is his name. Is that his name?
Yeah.
I know you hate him, but he's coming through. You know, so it's slowly we're building, and it's a good thing. And keeping the managers gives us more stability because he's aware of what's happening at the club. He's been part of the process as well. And if you get someone else new in, they might have their nose turned up, you know, by something. They might not like something. They might not agree with something. He's on board with what's going on. And I think that's the best way forward. So I'm delighted with the news. I've always been Ten Hag in. And I'm not to say I told anyone so or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. But I just ask you guys, get behind him now. Get behind the team because something is cooking. You can smell it. You can smell something cooking.
I can smell something coming out of your mouth. That's for sure.
All right, I'm done, but I'm happy.
Good. I'm glad that you're happy. And Dora, Mr. B, I assume you're still feeling pretty much the same as you were last night.
Yeah. I've been getting it's strange. You get bantering from rival fans. Delighted that he stayed.
Yeah.
Obviously they don't feel he did a good job. I mean, his job wasn't great. I'm not sure there was anybody else to replace him, but however he's ended up keeping the job, then I'm over the moon. Just a question for you though. Is a 1-year extension long enough or should he get 2 years?
I think that the extension will be 2 years. I mean, from my understanding of the situation, I didn't realize this, but his contract runs out next summer. But apparently he has an option for another year after that. So it's not just with players. They can extend it. So I think that a 1-year extension, what that actually translates to is 3 more years of Ten Hag.
Oh no.
I know. Isn't that an awful prospect?
Look, everybody's going to have their opinions. Everybody's going to have their thoughts. But Monday says some people will back him. I'm hearing people on stream saying you're not doing any more watch along. You're not doing. I'm not that guy in it. I'm not that guy. I'm always going to love the club. My thoughts doesn't matter. Whatever we think, whatever we talk about, it's not going to help the decisions that are being made or were made. So I mean, look, if people are going to sit down and watch United waiting for us to lose, then I really hope that they have a long and painful season. To be
I don't, because they're like, because that means we'll have a long and painful season too. And
no, you will. All the people who didn't want him in.
I see.
I'll be over the moon, mate. Keep on winning. Keep on winning.
The way I always look at it, right, is that even though like the Glazers are here and they're not great owners, so Jim Ratcliffe has literally poisoned me. We've got a manager that I don't think is particularly good. All these things are just variables. They're people that kind of keep the fire of Manchester United going, and they too will pass. And it's Manchester United that stays the same. So I don't like all this sort of like supporting a manager or supporting players. For me, it's about the club, what the club represents. So I really like. I just hope that we get the right people in that get us back to a position where I can enjoy watching Manchester United play football. That's what I really want. And unfortunately, I don't think that's Ten Hag. Should we do some comments? Because Andrew hasn't called us an idiot for at least 12 hours. Right. Andrew, change your name back to Andrew Williams, please. I hope no jocks are in tonight. I'm not going to be overly positive about their chances. In fact, I'm going to piss all over their chances like yesterday's newspaper. Or that time you drove home and wet yourself, which for some reason you told us all about. Banter FC, England win, end of. We deserve better. He's happy about Ten Hag. Simon, I hope you're very well. It's a delight to see you. Revisionist and triumphalist are Monday. We've got Bilal in the house saying, good evening, people. Where have you fellas been these last 2.5 weeks? I've been watching Love Island, enjoying myself. Where have you been, Mr. B?
I've been sick. Look, we're back. Look, whatever the reasons were for we're back. We're back. Spread the word. We are back.
We are back. Well, I'll tell you what we're doing next. Andrew, I hate the owners. I hate the coaches. I hate the players. I hate the media who cover them, and I hate the fans. He's from a long line of haters, isn't he, Andrew?
Oh, look, don't worry. We won't be talking about Ten Hag in 5 minutes. We'll be talking about the Euro.
Yeah, we just wanted to hear what Amonde had to say about Ten Hag, because he's been pushing him all season. And...
I haven't heard what Dora's got to say about it. I don't know if Dora's on my side or not. But,
you didn't watch the show last night?
No, I didn't. Okay. I've been away.
You're not allowed to say that.
Unfortunately, it's too late. It's live.
To sum it up on Monday, I'm on the same page as bedtime. I'm not really. I'm not the happiest girl in the world. However, I'm going to back my manager next season because he's going to be here. If he once again, starts doing, dodgy things, not being, very good in tactics and formations, and the players are not, performing once again, I will once again question him and want him gone. It seems to be flip-floppy, but I won't, do like Mr. B mentioned, some of the, people, they're going to boycott and whatever. I'm not like that. I'm going to back my club, whatever. So yeah, that's my I would say.
Dora, I can see happening. As soon as he loses the game, people will start scrutinizing him and saying, because I think some people feel bad that he stayed. The ones that come out and say he's got to go, now they feel like they're actually angry. And as soon as he starts slipping up or makes a couple of mistakes next season, they're the ones that are going to be jumping up and saying he's got to go.
Yeah. I won't do that, by the way.
I will.
So people know. Of course.
I will 100%
we have a clean
do
slate,
that.
man? Can you give the man a clean slate?
I'll tell you what I can do, Amonde, is that the last 4 games of the season, I was very... not impressed with our setup, but I was like, this is how a football team should be set up. Like, it should be a basic. If he does that at the start of the season and we lose because of we're unlucky and we hit the post 3 times and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, like I'll be fair with him. But if he goes out and plays, like if we lose our first 2 games again and he's doing stuff like having Ericsson as a pivot and all this mental stuff, then I'll be incredibly frustrated. And it will be in keeping with what I've said for over a year and a half, that I don't think he sets a team up to win a football match correctly. But anyway, right. Should we talk about Euros?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, right, just before we get in and talk about the scheduling and stuff, I think the Euros is by far the best international football competition. Does anyone agree?
Better than the World Cup?
Far better than the World Cup.
Nah, man. Nah.
I think the games are harder earlier on, as in there may be more competition in regards to group stages are probably a little bit harder, but the World Cup's the World Cup, man.
Look, the World Cup's a great competition. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'll tell you some problems I have with the World Cup. Number one is I know the Euros is always going to be a competition that I can watch in the pub, that it's always going to be on at times that are convenient for me. I think that there are too many teams in the World Cup, and I think it lasts too long. So the first 2 or 3 weeks, Tunisia, Sweden, not interested. Like Jamaica, Ghana,
What?
I'm not interested. Like I don't care about those kind of games. I like the Euros because I think it's got the best quality games. I think it's short and it's on at a time where I can watch it whilst I'm drinking. That is why I think the Euros is better.
I can't believe you're saying this, Bath Time, and I'm going to argue this point. The World Cup is much better. You get to see all the nations from around the world. Even like when they had it in South Korea and Japan, you know, that's great for Asian football. You can see the rise of Asian footballers now coming to the Premiership, and you know the improvement in their game. You see in South American teams, Brazil 1970. I mean, come on, you want to see the best of the South Americans against the best of Europe, like we had with France and Argentina in that fabulous final in the World Cup last time around. The Euros, because they're so familiar with one another, sometimes it can be stalemate. When you get a World Cup, you got all these different styles and ways of playing football, all these different personalities. The opportunity is bigger on the world stage, and the games are better. And I think that when you look at the history of the World Cup, it surpasses the Euros. I just think the Euros is a bit too stale for my liking. The World Cup is about flavour, flair, samba, and enjoyment. So I disagree with you.
Samba?
Yes,
right.
samba.
I also dislike heavily both Brazil and Argentina. But I admit that they make any football tournament they're in more interesting. But I also like that Europe has really established rivalries. Like, Holland, Germany is a massive game. Portugal, Spain is a massive game. Like, England versus anyone is a massive game. And I think that there's more sort of emotional weight behind a lot of the games in the Euros, because, like if you're playing against, I don't know, let's say you're playing against Ecuador, like it doesn't feel the same. There's not that kind of rivalry or history or stuff like that. The World Cup is obviously a wonderful tournament, but it's not a patch on the Euros for me. Dora, Mrs. Eurovision, like the world champion boxer. What do you think? Do you like the World Cup's better to win, but which competitions have you enjoyed more, World Cup or the Euros?
World Cup. Like, I get where you're coming from. I think the quality of the games are a bit higher if you look at it overall. However, especially in the later stages, especially if you get, top 6, top 7 European countries, battling against each other. But World Cup, like when I will see Croatia against Nigeria, or Croatia against Ghana, or Netherlands against, I don't know, Mali, for example, like those kind of. Sorry? Oh, you just said something.
Sorry.
Yeah. And those kinds of games is where I enjoyed the most. For example, Serbia, Cameroon in the World Cup. That was a crazy game. I really enjoyed it. It was like 4-3, 3-2, something like that. I get where you're coming from, but I think the overall entertainment and everything, football from all over the world is so much better for me and so much more entertaining. Like as Amanda said, you have Japanese who are a smaller a bit, but they are rapid. They are playing fast football. Koreans are trying to do the same thing. You watch those teams and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that they're playing like that. It's always cool to see if, for example, if an African team who are playing differently than the European national team, for example, Croatia, Nigeria, how are we going to put up against them? And I think that is amazing. Croatia is we have a lot of Italian influences, German influences, and then Nigeria who have a lot of maybe I don't know. They like to play on the counters, or they like to play possession game like Spain, for example, or something like that. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. More.
Mr. B, the Euros or the World Cup?
World Cup.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's not even a conversation. It's the World Cup.
But do you like also support a team like that are not part of Europe?
To be fair, I very, very support European teams. I don't even support England, bruv.
Yeah.
I just watch it to watch a good game of football. I don't care who wins. I don't care. Don't normally care who loses, to be fair. I just want to watch football without having to want to come on and cuss when the team loses. So no, it's international football. I mean, I don't watch in England. I very rarely watch England friendlies unless obviously I watched this one because Manu was playing. But it's more Man United bias. I'll be honest.
No.
Portugal, I'm only watching Bruno. Right? We got Dallo in there as well, but Bruno was the first one that came to my head. And I'm going to be watching Man United players apart from McFuckery, who I hope has a stinking tournament and they're out early.
That's outrageous. I can't believe that I'm hearing this. You want one of our players to have a bad tournament?
Yeah, and then get sold on the back of the tournament.
For him to have a good tournament and get sold.
No, because then people are going to be championing why he got sold. He can't have a good tournament. It's impossible for him to have a good tournament. Impossible. Because all he's going to be doing is running up and running down.
Oh, God.
Run up, run down, run up. Forget about who he's playing. I'm talking about his technical ability. So
He's
no, I don't expect him. Oh, fuck off, Bob.
If he got 4 goals, tell me.
What, in the World Cup?
No, in the Euros.
If he gets 4 goals in the Euros, I'm gonna post you my week's wages.
Well, woo! That's very generous, but I mean, Mr. B. He scored like around the same as sort of like Ronaldo and people like that in the qualifiers. Got 2 against Spain. It's not out of the question that McTominay could get 3 or 4 goals in the Euros. It's not a ridiculous thing to say.
Okay.
What is a ridiculous thing to say is saying that you hope he does badly so we can sell him for less money.
Well, I mean, what is he worth really? What in the cold light of day? What, even if he has a great World Cup, what's the most we're going to get for him? £18 million?
18.
1/8. Yes, 1/8.
No. The Euros is starting Friday. We got to do a McTominay watch just for Mr. B. We are doing McTominay watch just for Mr. B. And we clip this. This will be the intro. Hear what you just said. And the wages as well. Get that wage slip ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing that I hate about international tournaments is I always find that there's a fullback somewhere that looks absolutely incredible for someone. The key one, do you remember this guy? Royston Drenthe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He ended up playing in
Real Madrid,
Russia, didn't he? And after Real Madrid, didn't he go Russia?
He went Everton, I think, and then Russia.
Yeah.
Can I just say, he starred in the under-21s tournament, not the Euros. That's why he got his move to Real Madrid.
Mm.
He played in the Euros, didn't he? Or like certainly an international.
He starred in the under-21s when they beat England, I think, in the final. He was a star of that tournament. in a youth under 21s or under whatever it was, and that's how he got his move and as a new star of under kid sort of talent.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, like he looked brilliant. To be fair, looked like little Edgar Davids. But don't get swept up by the Scalaccis and people like that of the Euros, like
or Renato Sanchez.
Yes,
good player.
I remember. Oh my, yeah, but is he though on Monday?
Yeah, he is.
He's falling off
I
a
think
cliff.
he is.
Yeah,
I think he is.
Where's he playing?
He's played for Bayern Munich. He played for
where's he playing now?
Roma,
yeah. He played in France, if I'm not mistaken, in
Rennes
or Lille.
PSG.
Rennes or Lille. In
PSG. Yeah, he was on loan at PSG, I think, last year, and now he's at Roma.
Okay.
Like he was. I know that, and I don't even need to look at the comments that Andrew will be going mental because he also played for Swansea, and apparently he was terrible. He was terrible. Like,
I remember that loan
when he passed the ball.
Yeah, that's it. He picked out the advertising hoarding or something. I think he looks really good myself. But should we do some comments?
Yeah, there's a few of them.
All right. So, right, where do we start? We'll start with Tyrone and say that the World Cup is better, and I think most people are going to say the World Cup is better, but that's all right. Harder to win the Euros than the World Cup. I don't know about that. I don't know how Argentina are going to somehow win the Euros. Right, we deserve better, saying, what a load of nonsense. The World Cup is much better. World Cup is a lot better. Park Ji-sung came from the 2002 World Cup. I think Rio actually got signed off that as well, didn't he? He was outstanding in the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so, yeah. And also, by the way, that was one of my first sporting memories, actually, when I was a kid. Ivica Olic scoring for 2-1 against Italy at World Cup. I think the whole country, was insane that day. So, yeah, that's why I, fondly remember that World Cup 2002.
All right, well, we've got some good points from Andrew. So, all the worst tournaments in the last 40 years have been World Cups. South Africa, the USA, Italy, dire tournaments. I mean, to be fair, two of those were within like 4 years, weren't they? Was it Italy 1990 and USA 94?
Yep.
Could that have been more about the players that were around at the time, though?
No, Italy 90 was one of the best tournaments, I think. I know.
Is that the one where Maradona got them to the final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That if you talk about players, there were some fantastic players in that tournament. 94, I can go with. The heat was a bit unbearable, and it's first time in the USA. But Italy shouldn't be on that list. I thought the Italian 90 World Cup was a memorable one. Very good World Cup.
I love South Africa, apart from the Vuvuzelas. I did find them quite annoying, but I was in Spain then, so it was absolutely awesome that they won it. We've got Alti Zeka. He says that Albania are winning. Are Albania in the Euros?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are in our group. Bad time.
Look, we'll get the. Do you want the groups up now, bath time, so you can?
No, I want to do in the comments as I show that I know nothing about the Euros. I don't know who's in it.
As you can guys see, he didn't even do his homework. Yeah. So
I didn't do any homework. I thought Jan Oblak played for Slovakia last night. Shouted
Slovenia. Yeah. No, you said something else. You didn't say Slovakia.
Yeah, you said something
else.
You
said something else.
I remember your face, Dora.
It was Slovenia or Slovakia. I can't remember. No, it was Georgia.
It was Georgia. You said Georgia, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I know one player from Georgia. I just can't pronounce his name.
No, just look at their names and you will see that Georgia and Slovenia.
I'm not doing that. Right, Draugen.
I just wanted to say different cultures. Oh my God, Besta.
Yeah, we live in multicultural Europe, Dora. Draugen is saying the Copa America starts the 21st of June. Just saying. I'm not a huge fan of the Copa America either. It's on too late. Euros could be boring. I remember Greece winning it in 2004, Snorefest. I loved that Greek team. Like, Amonde, what? I know, Mr. B, you would have hated the Greeks in 2004.
Dead football. Yeah, dead football.
I loved it. What did you think, Amonde?
Yeah, fair play. It just shows you, like with Denmark sneaking through 92, beating Germany in the final. That was unexpected. No one expected Greece to win. Showed they had a good defensive structure, and they fought for each other. And they all sort of play maybe in the Greek league. You know, they had that. They were united, weren't they, as a team? And that sometimes can get you through when you've got that sort of unity within the team and something to fight for. So yeah, that was a unexpected win. And fair play to them. They've done really well. But it's very rare you get an underdog like that far out. They're probably 33-1 or something, start the tournament, actually winning it. And we will go through the teams today and find out, is there any dark horses? It'll be over to you. Maybe Albania, as they were saying in the comments.
This is the thing among days. The World Cup, it's always won by someone who expect it to win. You don't get like Denmark's and Greece's winning the Euros. More unpredictable.
Well, you can win, like Cameroon got to the quarterfinals in 1990. That's a win-win for them. You don't expect that to happen. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's not a proper win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a win-win for them. It's not a win-win for everybody else.
I'm saying, so everyone's got, if you're punching above your weight, then like Cameroon did, or like South Korea did, even though they cheated with the refs, going further in the tournament, that's a win for the country, in my opinion.
Look, it might be a win for, I don't know, for boldness. When was it the Bulgarians that were all bold that got to the semi-finals? Is it Lechkov?
Yeah, beautiful player. Yeah,
yeah. Like, I mean, but it's not. Greece and Denmark won the Euros. Like, it wasn't a win-win; it was a win, and I think that's more exciting. All right,
well done to them.
Portugal's are the winners. They're stacked with class. I'll tell you what, we'll do who we think is going to win the Euros next. I predicted last Euros in a very bold prediction they'd get 0 goals and 0 points, and I was close. And I repeat this prediction. Is that for Scotland?
Who's this?
Andrew?
Is this Scotland? I think this is Scotland. Yeah.
Well, my father's Scottish, Andrew. This feels personal.
It probably is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just lots of comments about. Here we go. Renato Sanchez is a donkey. All right, let's get on. Let's. What we're going to do? All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Right, first of all, I'll tell you what we're going to do over the Euros, and then we'll talk about the Euros. So every night, every match night, we're going to have a show at about 10:15 with lots of different guests. I will put the link in the description. So if any one of you want to come on and give your opinion, you're more than welcome. If we know you, like, you can come on without a face cam. If I don't know, or no one on the panel knows who you are, then you've got to have a face cam on so you don't say anything naughty, because we're not about naughtiness on this.
We don't have a dump button.
Yeah. All right. So what are we doing? Right, Dora, let me move you to the top. You're our sort of you're our expert on the Euros.
Yeah,
no, I'll hide myself. You're our expert on the Euros. Who's winning the Euros?
Guys in the chat, let us know who's going to be winning each group.
Each group.
Are you no. This is just for people in the chat. This is just for people in the chat. Let us know who's going to win each group, guys. Sorry to cut you off, and hit the like button as well if you are still here, even if it's just liking Dora and not us. Cheers. Sorry, Dora.
No, it's okay. Well, bad time if you ask me who is going to win the Euros. I think France. Like, I know this is a lazy answer. Maybe people would want for me to say England, or maybe Germany has hosts, or I don't know, Portugal, because they are very talented. Well, I have an argument for each country as to why I think they won't probably make it. Do you want me to say it now or later when we analyze the groups?
I think later. I just want to know if anyone sees beyond France, to be honest. Like Mr. B.
To be honest, probably not. I do think Portugal do have a chance. I don't know how the groups work out. People work out first and second, and then they say, they'll play. I don't really care about that, to be fair. I'm not really interested. I think though, yeah, my favourites would be France. I do think Portugal have got a really, really good chance. Just because I do like Portuguese football.
Do you want Portugal to win then? They would be your favourites.
I wouldn't be upset if Portugal won. I wouldn't be upset if Portugal won. I think
Who
it
would
will be
upset you?
England.
If England win, you'd be upset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want my reasoning why?
As long as it's not overtly political.
No. When I was younger, you hear about this tournament that they won before I was born, and they're still going on about it now, 40, 50, 60, 58 years later. I can't take it. I can't take it. So I'd rather, be brave semi-finalists and get knocked out as usual. If they got knocked out in the quarterfinal, it wouldn't even bother me bath time. It wouldn't even be
Surely
bothering me.
You would want England to win so that you don't have to hear about the tournament from like 58 years ago then.
No, because then we're going to be hearing about this one until
you just don't want to hear stuff.
Yeah, I just don't. And they skanked the one that they won. If they had bloody goal line technology, it would have gone to extra time, no?
Yeah, more VAR is needed. You're completely correct.
There you go. See? There you go.
Yeah,
so, go on.
I kind of agree with you where, I wasn't born in England, but I've lived the majority of my life in England. I feel very little connection to the English football team. To be honest, I care about Manchester United. I don't really care about England.
Are we supposed to be saying this on a Euro show?
Well, I don't see why not.
I'm jesting.
Amonde, who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win?
Yeah.
That's different to who I think's going to win.
Yes.
Netherlands, I like to see Netherlands do it again. I would just like them, a small nation, pound for pound, very good, producing players and a style of football which is good on the eye. And they look like they've got a kind of exciting team again. I'd like to see Netherlands for a football perspective. But I think Germany, for me, because they're hosts, I think when you got, I really think Germany, because they're their host nation. And this is the thing with Germany, ever since the war, they're afraid to really get patriotic and get behind the team, I believe. And as the tournament goes on, I think the group is suited for them. They get through, they get the momentum, and then you can start getting support behind them. And once you get that momentum behind them, and I think they need that because they're kind of afraid to sort of really get out there and start waving the flag. And I think if they get the momentum, get into the knockout stages, then you could see something. I remember, was it in... we had the World Cup tournament there recently, and the same thing happened. Remember in 2002 when they got beat 5-1 by England, ended up reaching the final. They just got pedigree. They know how to get there, and especially being at home, I think that gives them a major advantage. When I'm looking at all the teams, I think who's got good defense and who's got a goal scorer. These are the two factors I think about, and who's a good team where they've proven over the last couple of years that they can play football.
Who's Germany's goal scorer?
Well, you got Karl Havertz. You got the other guy who plays for Dortmund. Who got
Volkronk.
Yeah. So and then
is he good? Is he good?
Well,
he's solid.
Yeah,
he's solid.
And this, I'm saying, they're efficient. Germany always known for being efficient. I just think the home advantage gives them a very big advantage, and the fans getting behind them as well is important. I think they can go really far, and I would back them at home in a one-off game against any of these teams, even Dora's favourites, France.
I think you're right about the home advantage stuff. Like Amonde, that has been proven from both Euros in England, all this sort of stuff. It's a huge thing. But with Germany, I think back on how they always seem to have a match winner, whether it was an Özil or a Podolski, or even closer. I don't know if they have Dora, do they have a match winner? Someone like maybe Musiala or Wirtz or someone like that who can get them, from a quarterfinal to a semi-final.
Look, they if you compare this squad to last few tournaments where they flopped, you could see that they have more talent, in my opinion. However, if you compare this team to the one, for example, in the 90s or 2000s or 2006, where they were, third in as hosts as well, and in 2014 where they were, the winners. As you said, they don't have a prolific striker that's going to, change the game. Like Klose, like they don't have that X factor, I would say. Maybe, look, I may be wrong. I think they need. I think in the World Cup in 2 years, they're going to be much better. I think this is a new path for them. They have a new coach or a manager in Nagelsmann. They have some young players that are coming into team. Some of the old ones are going. Miller is probably going to go. Kroos is going. Neuer is going. He's probably not going to play anymore for Germany. You have so many players that are going to come into the squad, and and some of the one of their most important World Cup winners are going to leave. So I think they just need an X factor. If I look at their squad, I think they're talented, but I don't have anyone to say, oh my god, they are absolutely insane. Of course, Florian Wirtz. I think one good thing about Germany this season or this tournament is that Nagelsmann called up players that are actually mostly in form. Problems with Hulev and Hansi Flick is that they always try to call up their favorites despite not being in form. I think these guys most of them are in form. For example, Florian Wirtz, who had an amazing season in Bayer Leverkusen. Füllkrug had a good season at Dortmund, etc., etc. And I think that's their advantage. However, I don't think that they have enough to win it.
Yeah, I would sort of build on to that point. Right? I like Nagelsmann as a coach, and I think you're right that this might be a tournament too soon for them, because he's going to sort of like want to implement certain things into the team. He doesn't have a lot of time to work with them. That maybe this is a tournament where for me personally, I think Germany, a semi-final is roughly about where they're going to get off that squad and the home advantage. But who knows? Maybe Kroos and Muller will pull something out of the bag for like one last final stand. Yeah. Right. Should we do the comments then? Talk about England.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Everyone is sort of saying who they think is going to finish first. Like Switzerland first and Germany second. Are the Swiss good, Dora?
I mean. So they have from the most known ones, like they have Akanji, they have Xhaka, they have
Alaba. Is he Swiss?
Embolo. Alaba is Austrian.
Okay, I mean it's basically the same place.
I mean they have a really good team. Most of them are playing in Bundesliga. I think their Kobel, their goalkeeper, is playing for Dortmund. I think they have a good team. I always feel like they are, close, but never, over the, how do you say it? They never go over that obstacle. They did, however, went through the groups last Euros, but I don't think they will do it this time.
And no love for Scotland. We can't see Scotland getting out of that group. No, they beat Spain. They've got one of our players. They've got one of the best asses in world football in John McGinn. Like, not a chance.
I think Scotland can get through with Germany. Yeah.
Do you? You think they're going to beat Switzerland and Hungary?
Yeah, it's possible. Draws, you just don't know how the games pan out. I think Scotland, they're playing Germany first of all. They get a draw there. They get motivation to go. They can get motivated.
That's not uncommon. That's not uncommon. For the opening match to be a draw, though, is it?
Yeah,
it's probably not, but I think the teams are probably more equally matched than Germany versus Scotland in the first game.
Scotland ain't the mugs. They've done really well, and they beat Spain recently. Their fans, they're going to be up for it. You know that for a fact.
200,000.
When that game happened, by the way,
Munich.
No, Spain versus Scotland was there. That was like a few months ago. When was that?
That was last year.
Last year. I mean,
Okay.
Sorry, I started coughing. Sorry. No, I mean,
You
it was
promised
last
me
year.
you
Who
weren't going to do
cares?
this, Dora.
No, I muted myself, so I can. But I mean, that was last year. I mean, I don't want to like. I like Scotland. I think we, as Croatians, we have a lot of in common with Scotland. But I just don't feel like they can do anything. Unfortunately,
My concerns for Scotland will be that in my lifetime, like my father is a Scot, and I watched quite a lot of Scotland games with him. Is that in tournament football? In my lifetime, I think I've seen 3 goals from Scotland, maybe 4.
one against
Like-
Croatia last Euros.
Yeah, like so basically, when Andrew up here says 0 points, 0 goals, I can actually see that happening for Scotland, like not scoring or doing anything and shutting down. But at the same time, I hope that all the fans out there for Scotland and for every country get drunk, have as much fun as they can, and don't cause any problems. Because it'd be nice to have a Euros without British people smashing up historic city centres.
No
for
chance.
once.
It's gonna be no. There's no chance.
Yeah,
Beer and sunshine. It's a recipe for disaster when they get together. So no, there's not. I mean, they've got. They're serving shandy for the England.
yeah.
game. The only game in the whole
Serbia.
Euros against Serbia, they're serving shandy.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. All right. Who have we got here? We've just got lots of prediction. All right, like, this is a good one. Like Montreal is saying that Germany, Spain, Denmark, France, Belgium, Portugal will qualify top. So who's he got?
He's missed somebody out, hasn't he?
Well, England, I thought would be there, but he's got Denmark instead of England as winning their group.
Ooh.
So interesting. Right, Portugal, Chat Sport says all over winner. Group C, England and Serbia second. France and the Netherlands. That's going to be a great match, isn't it? France,
fantastic.
Netherlands. This one is going to be a cracking match. I might phone in for this one, Dora, depending on the score. Croatia, Spain. Does anyone like Dora? Could Croatia do it? Like,
Go all the way.
yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, no one believed in us in 2018, but we got to the final. No one believed that we are going to do anything in Qatar. We got to the semis, maybe. But I think overall, World Cup suits us better. I don't know. I think the best result in the Euros was that 2008 quarterfinals and 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I cannot remember. But yeah, we can. I think there needs to be a lot of luck. I think all of these players need to play their best tournaments in their lives, even better, in my opinion, than in 2018. And I think that's really rough. You know what? I don't know if you want my prediction for Croatia right now, my realistic prediction.
Yeah,
I think the furthest we can go, and this is me being kind of realistic and with the squad and everything, is quarterfinals. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go further. I would be very disappointed if we don't go through this group, in all honesty, despite
Are you
having
not worried? I would be worried about that group if I were you. Spain and Italy. Like
we had
Spain...
it. We had it in 2012.
Hang on a second. I'm being called.
Oh my God, he's being called. Oh.
Somebody's telling him to stop talking far, isn't it?
So, I mean, with the Spain game, I mean, what have Spain got at the moment? Have they got the firepower?
They always have on Monday. Spain always have the firepower, man. Let's be honest.
What firepower have they got? They've got Morata. I mean, what have they really got? Spain?
It's the rest.
They have Rodri, Pedri, apparently.
Who's the guy who plays? Who's the young guy who plays for Barcelona?
The winger.
No, the young six. Is it 16?
Yamal.
Yeah.
Who does he play for?
He plays for Barca, doesn't he? He's Spanish. Yeah, he's Spanish nationality.
Okay.
Yeah, right wing.
I was watching European athletics yesterday, and you see the triple jump final. There's a Spanish guy who's Cuban. He's come over and got Spanish nationality now, playing, but he's born in Cuba. But yeah, Spain, I just worry about their firepower, whether they got a guy who can score several goals. Obviously, in the past, they had Villa and Torres, and they still, even I thought Villa was fantastic. But who have they got today? They've got so many great players behind the striker, but who have they got who's going to finish their dinner?
You are absolutely right on one day. I just feel like I think they suffered a lot from Real Madrid buying foreigners and not cultivating their own talent, and Barcelona, especially their midfield, not cultivating their own midfielders. Of course, they have Pedri, but Gavi is injured; he's not going to play. They have to rely on some other players, the players from Villarreal, Real Sociedad, Paris Saint-Germain, and that's not bad. But I just feel that on paper, when you look at if you compare them to the previous teams, this is a bit underwhelming. But I would never discount Spain. They are always great. De La Fonte is the manager, which I don't know that much about. In all honesty, I need to do my research better. But yeah, as someone said in the comments, they've been smashing it in the friendlies. They always do, in my opinion. It will be interesting to see. We have a chance against them. I mean, we beat them in 2016 in the group stages. We almost beat them in the 2012. So I think there is hope. I think we can definitely. Italy. I mean, people don't understand. Italy has been Croatia's, I think, favorite opponent ever. I think since 2002, we've been beating them consistently. We've been in qualifiers for, many, many times in the same groups. Those games were a bit messy for other reasons. A lot of bad stuff happening in the stands. But when it comes to the results, I think we always kind of beat them because I feel that we know them so much.
Yeah.
Because we are so close to each other. We have so many influences from that, Italian league. I mean, our fundamentals, from the 90s, and those coaches that they cultivated their talent in Italy, and they came to Croatia and started doing the stuff. So I feel that we have their number, Italy's, especially like. They weren't that good in the qualifiers, to be quite honest with you. And I feel that with this new squad, with Spalletti at the helm, I think it's similar to Germany. They need, I think, the next big tournament, they're going to be much better. I think this is too early for them.
In the last Euros, the best game was Spain against Italy. That game was absolutely, I think it was a semi-final. That was
2012. Oh my God.
Just a couple of years ago, was it the last Euros?
Last Euros. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's way back for us. You remember that game, Mr. B? Spain against Italy.
Monday. I don't even remember what I did last week. As I said, you lot talking about stuff in 2012. Forget it.
No, this is 2 years ago.
Yeah, you can forget that as well, bruv. Yeah, I don't. It has to be something memorable. If I sat down and maybe watched highlights of the tournament, then fine. But for whatever reason, my memory's not the best, brother.
Do we all agree then that Group B is the group of death? Because Albania are really spicy.
Oh, Monday, where did you? How? I don't understand.
Is this what I've come back to? Albania are spicy.
Yes.
Right, name 5 Albanians.
Can I just say, they got forward from Chelsea. Let me say this. My little Nigerian friend that I tell you about, who I work with. Hello, Ade. How you doing, Ade? He went out to Albania a couple of weeks ago, and on his own, little Nigerian boy, on his own out in Albania, he showed me some pictures. It's a beautiful country, but the passion. These guys are wolves. They're so passionate. This is their first big stage top competition for a long, long time, and they're going to be on it. They're almost neighbours, Croatia, Italy. These are big games. Every game's going to be a cup final for them. I think there's going to be a shock where they might beat one of these giants in their group. I think it's a tough group. For me, that's the toughest group. That is the group.
Who's going through, Amondo?
I would say Italy and Albania.
Wow. You have more belief in them than they themselves.
Watch this space.
How many
Do you ha-
Albanian
Are you
footballers
Albanian?
do you know?
Are you Albanian?
No, but there's a lot of Albanians in London, and trust me,
Yeah, but which one in the squad is what I'm asking.
these are roadmen. I'm talking about roadmen. Albanians,
Yeah, I know.
real gangsters. So
I know, but can you name more than 3 Albanians that are playing in that squad?
if I named them, you wouldn't even know. So, yeah, Bora.
I know
Bora,
too.
And Dora.
Is
You're
Brocha-
so rude.
Is Brocha
Brocha.
one at Chelsea?
Yes,
Yeah,
at Chelsea. And I know one. Hey, Arber Hoxha from Dinamo Zagreb. A very good player.
Oh wow! There you go. There you go.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
that's me.
So Albania, are they the dark horses for you on Monday?
Yeah, in that group, they're going to cause a shock. They're going to be on it.
Oh, one day, I swear. If they get a point on one day, I can't. That
Can I get your wages next month, Mr. P?
not for that. You can get stuff. Not for that. I cannot wait for the reaction show for when Albania gets smashed.
Okay, we will see. We will see.
I'm quite up for Albania beating Croatia. Because Dora, are you going to do an Albania Croatia watch along?
I don't know. I need to see. I don't even know when that game is. Just a moment. Let's see. Group details. Group B, 19th of June, 3 o'clock. No way I'm going to do a watch. Sorry, guys. That content is not coming. I mean, if it was a bit later, okay. But look, Albania is, I wouldn't say spicy like I mean, spicy like their kebabs or something. No, I think they are a very solid team. They always have amazing talent. They have, as Omonde say, a passionate team. However, I think their talent is not better than the rest of the. To be fair, they were first in their group.
There you
In
go.
the qualifiers. They were. I don't know who were they with. Honestly, I will try to Google it. But I
They
mean,
must have been playing against Obernorans and Woodlands FC to get through that, innit?
Oh, right. Let's spend the last 10 minutes talking about England. Why do we think England are going to not win the Euros? Let's start with
Southgate.
Mr. England, Mr. B.
Southgate.
All right.
That's the one reason why that's the one reason why I don't. Let's take this off now anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think Southgate is the reason why the players that they've had for the last few years, I'm not going to say are well beaters, because maybe that's a bit biased, but yeah, I think that sorry, just people. Yeah.
Got the Italian in you. Hey,
yes.
Yeah, that was like the Godfather then.
oh my God, but Mr. Corleone, I can't recognize you.
And see, and now I've forgotten the question. As I said, I got a head full of mush. What did you ask me last time?
I asked you why you don't think that England will win, and you started going on about Southgate.
Yeah, Southgate, and they're lack of defenders. I don't think they've got any good defenders. You know, we moaned about Maguire at United for a bit, beginning of the season, but they're going to miss him. They really, really are going to miss him.
Is it Duncan Stones that starting centre backs for England then?
No, I reckon it's going to be. Is it Guehi, whatever his name is, and Stones? Dunk is Dunk. Are you not Dunk? No chance. Well, I'm not going to say no chance. I would be very surprised if he started over
Guehi.
Yeah,
had no European experience though, Guehi, has he? Like at least Dunk's got Europa Cup or League or something.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah.
Well, this is my problem with the England team. It's all them Crystal Palace boys. It's all very exciting, but I feel that team lacks experience.
Who else could they have picked though?
I think Grealish and Rashford would have been better choices.
What, in defence?
Well, no, not in defence. For defence, I I don't know who you pick in defence. I suppose, logically, did Gay play for the under-21s? Like, has he got like 30, 40 games for them?
More than likely. That's how Southgate seems to pick these players. You know,
Yeah,
they
then
have to be.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Okay.
But Grealish is a weird one to miss because I feel England's best like way of winning the tournament is probably going to be through a set piece. Like,
he's the one who wins them.
He's the one who wins them. Then you can have like Trent for the quality. I think that's where England will miss Maguire the most. Is that I do think he's an international match winner, and I just don't think there are enough experienced international footballers in England's squad to get them over the line. Like, I'm not saying any of them are bad. Like, Eze's a great player, like, no doubt about it. But Grealish will win you that free kick and relieve that pressure against.
Could have gone instead of Bowen.
Yeah, I think I quite like Jared Bowen in the squad because I don't think England have a lot of left footers, do they?
Really? So who would you have not taken for Grealish?
Probably Eze, to be honest. I think what Southgate does that I like is that Southgate starts with a solid team and then he brings people on like Grealish to finish the job. And so in the Euros last time, everyone was all crying about Grealish like not starting. I thought he was used really well, where he was like winning free kicks, creating chances towards the tail end of the game. And I think that it was a choice between him and Eze for that position, like of the sort of the last 25-minute, 30-minute sub. And I think Grealish would have been a better choice. I think from what I've seen of Anthony Gordon, he's a very good player, but he's defensively very suspect. I don't like Phil Foden in the team. I don't know. I think that England have a problem that I've only seen them have in the golden generation, which is that they've got too many good attackers, and they don't know how to fit them all together because you can't have Bellingham, Rice, and Foden as a midfield. It'll never work. Like you've got to.
One day's thinking about it now. Go on one day.
Yeah, come on, Monday. Tell me about this. Am I being silly?
I'm really surprised by some of the selection and admissions like Grealish. I'm surprised by that, as the guys are saying in the comments as well. Big up to you guys in the comments as well. You come with some really good stuff. Eze,
comments.
I'm excited about Eze. I think when you're looking at the tournament, he's the X factor for us. He's someone that the people won't really have their data and homework on, and he can do things that other players can't do. This is what we're saying about coaching and bringing these players through. I think he's a street player, played in cage football. He does things off the cuff. He does things just with instinct. And that's what you need at the top end. Someone to come in the game and you can just drift past a man and do a little something and create something brilliant. I think he's capable of doing that. I hope he plays and starts and shows world football what a great player is. I'm just going to fling something up, considering we're talking about the England side here. These are players talking about grassroots. These are players playing for non-Premiership clubs, and they're all in the squad. You've got Eze there when he finally did get a game because he went through so many clubs playing for QPR in the Championship. Do you want to go through them, Dora, club and name?
Bowen, is that Hull City?
Yeah, in the Championship. Sorry.
Oh my God, I'm having a nightmare. Sheffield United.
Charlton.
Oh, Charlton. Oh my God. Okay, Charlton. I don't know who is this.
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa. Okay. Tony. I don't know which team is this.
Northampton. It's on the shirt, Dora.
Oh, sorry. I am blind. I cannot read. 12.
Don't worry. The next guy plays for Sun Football.
Ollie Watkins. Wait, who is this? Oh, yeah. Charlton again. Joe Gomez, Adam Wharton from Blackburn, and Jude Bellingham from Birmingham City.
That's so impressive. That I genuinely, I think, would have got 3 of them there.
I mean,
Don't make
you
the
know,
door up.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. I played a lot of video games. I play a lot of sports games. That's why I know Charlton. I remember Carlton Cole. I remember those kind of players from that era that played for
Jesus Christ.
Charlton and those. So yeah.
Was it Fish cost a fortune at Charlton? Was that their back line?
Mark Fish.
Fish, Costa, and Fortune, I think, was the back three that they used to play.
Wow.
It's a long time ago. But just going back, I think this shows you England. This is the England squad of today, and all these players have come through at lower clubs in the Championship and Division 1. I think that's Peterborough, which Ivan Toney, and I think we've got Watkins playing for Walsall, maybe, or can someone in the comments let me know? That's not Brentford. Is that Walsall? So it just shows you all these players have come up, not through academies at Premiership clubs. They come through lower division clubs and work their way up, and now they're all in England squad for this Euros. I think that's really good stuff there, what we're seeing here. And hopefully we'll be signing players like this and start to appreciate. Don't go to Brazil, don't go to Europe to sign these young players. There's a lot of good players in grassroots English football coming through. So I think that's a good representation of what's happening in England over the last 20 years. St. George's and all the academies and all the football was blowing up in the UK and in England. And now we got to the final, the semi-final. We're doing something right. So this is promising for English football to see this.
Yeah, but those players, Amonde, with the exception of Jude Bellingham, don't have enough top level experience to compete at the cutting end of like tournament football for me.
Yeah,
based exactly off that sort of pedigree there. Like Adam Wharton started the City playing in the Championship against like Leicester and teams like that. Like, is he going to be able to come on like in the Euros, draw upon experience and select the right pass and execute it to get England into a final or a semi-final? I don't know.
Yeah, interesting that. But what I will say, just like when Greece won it, you got all these home-based players, and these guys have all, maybe Southgate's picked the team based on having that unity. He's seen these guys; they're all obviously come through. They've all got the hunger. This is maybe why he picked that squad. It's the only thing I can think of, because all these guys have definitely proved that they've got hunger to go through from Championship, first division clubs to sort of get up to the top level of the game. So well done to these guys anyway.
I just think, Amonde, right, that I like what you're saying about, like, we've all seen that picture of I always call him Mark Bowen, of Bowen when he was like a youngster, and he looked like the Milky Bar kid, proper nerd, big glasses and stuff like that. And he's become a very good Premier League player. The thing is that with that Greek team and with pretty much every other team in the Euros, they all seem to have grown from the under-17s through the under-21s into the national team. One thing England consistently don't do is that. Like, so Bowen and Toney, I don't know if they've played together at any level. Adam Wharton, Jude Bellingham, have they played in the under-17s? Have they played in the under-19s? Because I bet you Portugal and Croatia, they've all done that.
Half time. Go and look at the record of the under-17s, the under-20s, under-21.
Yeah, it's incredible.
In recent times for England, they have been really successful. And that I think transfers into the senior squad with the players that Southgate's picked. I don't know.
But have those players, like, have people like Eze and stuff, have they been in those teams, like the under-19s?
No,
the under-21s?
Eze, I don't think Eze has, because these players have been playing in the Championship. So a lot of them have been overlooked. But what they do have, these guys, is hunger. They've got a story to tell. They can show, especially Eze, to see how he can progress.
Yeah, but that doesn't win you a tournament, Amonde.
You need to have the hunger sometimes.
Yeah,
I know
they're professional footballers.
Yeah, but they've had rejection, a lot of these guys, and they've worked their way up. So they obviously got something about them. And that's what I think character is really important. And going to this tournament together as being united, I think this is going to be something that could be an X factor for England.
All right, what's more important then, Amonde? These players that you say have got hunger and have been at the lower end of Premier League, lower end of professional football, and it's very impressive that they've got to the top. All the players that were ahead of them at every age group who have dominated every age group. Uh-huh.
I think you've asked a question like a politician, which is forced me.
I think that's an ad hominem.
You forced me to make and I'll give you an answer, which is obvious. You've answered the question yourself. I think it's not about that. I just think you talk about. You're right. You're right. The B would be the answer. But what I'm saying here, this is an X factor that I think Gareth Southgate's thought about. And this is why he picked the team. This is why Grealish, Rashford, all these guys aren't there. He's seeing something in them. He's doing training with them. He's got advice. He's seen something in them. Say, let me bring these guys in. Yeah, let's see what data you have on Adam Wharton. Let's see what data you have on Eze. Let's see what you have on was it Watkins or whatever. You know, it's not like Bruni gets injured and we bring on Darius Vazel when we could have won in Portugal against Portugal that day. This is something different, and I think it's something that I think is brave, and I think it's about character. We're going to see.
Would you have done it?
If I was around the players and realised that they're great pros and they got the hunger, I would have probably done it. Yeah, I think you have to pick the team based on certain things as well. Those characteristics you cannot overrule. I don't even think Mr. B, but you're seeing Mr. B. You're talking about Charlton players, former Charlton players, and Konza and all that kind of thing. I don't even rate Konza. I don't think he's good enough. But these guys are there for a reason.
Best of a bad bunch.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Are they though?
This guy.
Like Amonde's right, Mr. B. England have pretty much dominated at every age group, like over the last 5 years. Would it? The thing that sort of bugs me is that I think that those players. I'm not saying put Angel Gomez like in ahead of Adam Wharton or something like that, but I think that they should be the players we're picking because Dora, with this great Croatian team that has been around about 10 years, like has it come up through youth level mainly, or like how is that? How have you managed to have such a good team and yet no people, just snakes and chickens running about?
Well, I just wanted to say, I wanted to compare to two national teams as well, and in put it in the perspective of your conversation. I agree with you both. I think Omonde is spot on in the way that you need to have motivated players. You look at Croatia, patriotism. They love their country. They're always with a chip on their shoulders. They've been through a lot in their youth. Some of the older guys, war and all that stuff. Some of them are born immigrants. They came back. Blah 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 blah. They all have chip on their shoulders. They want to prove that despite having 3.8 million people in the country and much more around the world, they are going to do their thing right. I agree with that, but I also agree with Bad Times saying that most of these guys play together at clubs. They play together in the national teams, and for example, right, Modric is a one-off because he's 38, 39 years old, right? But he played with Chorluka, Dario Srna. Not maybe Dario Srna was a bit older. It doesn't matter, right? He had his own generation of players, right? Now you have all those Dinamo guys. Look at Mateo Kovacic and Marcelo Brozovic played together as the youngsters in Dinamo Zagreb 10 years ago, right? Then you have Lovro Majer, Bruno Petkovic, who played together at Dinamo as well. You have Iluka Ivanušec, played at Dinamo as well. He played with Bruno Petkovic. So you have so many players. Joško Gvardiol was a Dinamo Zagreb player. He played with Bruno Petkovic, with Majer, with, you have those, how do you say it, connections. And most of these, younger players play together in the national teams. I agree with you both. Of course, you need to have, hunger, but you also need to, build something, build some fundamentals. But I think the problem with England is their mentality. I think the mentality always eats them out. And besides maybe Jude Bellingham Foden, Kyle Walker, they are all serial winners, as we witnessed. I just feel that England has so much on the line every single time they qualify to the big tournament or even go far, because they know if they lose, everyone is going to pile on them, say they're shit. They are, advertising the Premier League as the best league in the world, the most talented, the most rapid league in the world. And then their national team comes there and they just don't do it for 50, 60, 70 years. They didn't win a big
All right,
trophy.
go on.
So I mean, it's the mentality. It is the mentality. And I think, they are always in their heads, especially against the bigger teams, like, teams like France, who are serial winners. Why cannot they could easily beat France if they had it in their heads. I know people are going to pile on Southgate and all that, but I think these players, and of course manager needs to be accountable, they need to get rid of that crutch. Don't care about English media, who is, in my opinion, also culpable for for many things in that national team, and just play their own game and start believing in themselves. I agree with you both. I think there are both of these factors are correct, but the mentality of this English team sucks ass, in my opinion. They could have easily win against Italy. Italy, one of the worst Italy teams in the last 40 years. Like, how can you not? And then, of course, English media like sharks pile on the colored players, youngsters who are, the most vulnerable. And of course, it is what it is. They need to just put that away, focus on the game, and win those games. And if they don't do it, they will not win anything, in my opinion. They need to get rid of that crutch, I would say.
Oh, Dora, you're so
Rip
funny.
Trent.
70 years of England, of the English being losers.
Well, I mean, 66. Sorry, my math isn't right.
All right.
60 years.
I think we're going to stop it
I'm
there because
excited
Mr. B needs to be fed. Hopefully, at least some of us will be on Friday night. But as I say, we're going to be doing half an hour, 45-minute shows every evening at 10:15. We'd love you all to come and join in. We're back for the summer, and it's great to see all of you, especially you, Mr. B. Lovely to have you back.
Cheers, man.
All right, so good night from me.
Good night from me.
Good night from me.
Laku noć from me.
Bye.
Take care.